Well, my name is Kellett. I'm a hip hop artist from Ballymun, and I'm also involved in filmmaking and podcast producing as well. And I was involved in the original creative space, as was Adam over here as well, which we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, that's basically what I do, hip hop artist, and try and dabble in as much creative stuff as I can.
Yeah, so I'm Adam, Mohamed. I'd say I'm just an artist. But yeah, I write, I perform, and looking at, doing a bit more kind of different type of writing, like for films and TV. But I'd say just for now, I'll just say artist.
You're just an artist, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, the first creative space, man, both of us were involved in that. So I'd just be curious, because I actually think back on that quite a lot. What are your memories of that? Like, when you think back on that, what comes to mind? What do you feel when you think about the first creative space?
So that was 2016.
Yeah, give or take, in and around then, yeah.
Just, I don't know, it feels like 10 years ago, but it feels like really in that I kind of came out my shell.
Yeah.
Kind of in that project, so that's kind of what I remember. And yeah, I just remember just kind of feeling like being put in front of a camera for the first time, and a microphone put in front of you, and having to. I know I've always got up and talked in front of people, but getting put on the spot was just something that hadn't happened to me in a while. So it was uncomfortable, but it was good.
Yeah, I do. I should think back on it so fondly, man. It was it was almost like I don't know if you played sports when you were younger, like a football team. You'd meet up a couple of times a week, and then you try and win the match at the end of the week. And then this felt like a team in a way, but we weren't trying to win the match at the end of the week. It was kind of like, if all of us made it through the week and we're feeling kind of good mental health wise and we're being productive, then that was the win at the end of the week. Do you know what I mean? It was like a team, just like a support system in a way as well. That I don't think, I look around now and kind of Finglas and Ballymun and our areas, and there's nothing really like it at the moment. I actually don't know of a group of lads that meet up regularly, maybe once or twice a week, that aren't involved in sports, that sit there and explore that creative side. Do you reckon there's a gap there?
I don't know. I think there is. There seems to be a lot. I look at what's going on now and what was going on back there 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It seems like, as I said, it feels like a century ago. So much has changed since then.
Yeah.
But I think there is more. I don't know. It just, Ireland in general just seems a more creative place.
Embracing their creativity a bit more,
since then, I don't know.
Yeah, so the basic gist of what creative space originally was a room, young lads, I think there was about 10 or 12 of us, came together with, I think Dean Scurry was the facilitator at the time, but he was just as much a part of the process as us. He wasn't kind of facilitating or kind of the teacher or whatever, and so we'd get together and we'd just write poems or write raps or write scripts, parts of plays. We'd get a piano out and we'd sing and rap, get a guitar out, do the same. They brought people in to do workshops with us, like John Connors and stuff like that, where I remember this one time, and if you remember Farrell, and it was just one time where they lined us all up and we just had to look at each other in the eyes for 5 minutes straight and not break eye contact, and that was the most skin crawling thing I still have ever done to this day. But as you were saying earlier on about coming out of your shell, those sort of exercises and workshops and just kind of being in a room with lads who are open, putting themselves on display as well, it was just such a relief, or just a positive vibe for the rest of the week. So that was the kind of general gist of creative space.
Kind of what I seen it as. For me, I didn't do anything creatively beforehand. I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what was the best way into it. And then Dino had asked me to get involved.
Yeah.
So for me, I was just thinking, put myself in here with a load of different heads.
Yeah.
Some of them might be making films or doing acting or doing music, and something will, if I surround myself with all these people for the next however long, something will rub off on me, and I think that's what happened. So that's what
definitely, and
chuffed about.
And then after Creative Space, because it's obviously been a few years, what have you been doing in the years past or post Creative Space? Like, what have you been working on, and have you been growing as an artist?
Yeah, well, only in the last, I'd say, year, I've actually, since Creative Space, 5 years ago, so the last year, that was when I actually put my first thing out. It was actually really the first piece that I wrote was Untitled.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing that I put out a year ago, and just since then, since I put that out, like, there was whatever, it was about 18 years of like my life or my thoughts in that one. So I got that out, it just unleashed everything, so I've just been going non-stop since then. I have something coming out next month that I think it's gonna be good. So
class.
It's a song, so it's not spoken word, it's actually me rapping and then you have someone singing.
Deadly, man.
So I think it's just been writing and just trying to get more involved in the community as well, just with volunteering and getting involved in different projects and different programs, just to get out there. And
do you feel if Creative Space if Dino hadn't invited you into Creative Space originally, do you think you'd be on this path, or would have went a little bit different? Because I know for me, when I got because I was kind of similar to you. I knew I wanted to do something creative, like it was kind of music. I was writing raps when I was younger and stuff like that. But when I got into Creative Space, and I was like I can write a rap, or I can write a scene for a film, or I can try and sing or learn the guitar or stuff like that. It definitely put me on a path where I was like, if I'm not doing something that's creative, then I feel like I'm missing something. There's a void there. So kind of everything that I've done since Creative Space has been looking for more creative avenues to explore. So do you feel like similar, or like, if Creative Space wasn't there, do you think you would have went down a different path? Not a dark path, but like just the routine job, or
I don't know. Like, I always wanted to do something creative as well, and I thought like I'd always kind of dip my hat into whatever could come. So I'd like to think that if I didn't get involved in this, that somewhere down the line it would have
happened anyway.
Across it. I think I would have. Like,
well, that's a good mindset to have, though. Yeah,
I think so, because really, like, the stuff is in us.
Like,
you don't need a, I know, like, projects and programs are good, but if it's in you, it's in you. It's gonna bleed.
That's another.
Gonna make it happen somehow.
Yeah, that's kind of another thing that I do think about to the original group. It was like we were all there and we were all creative and we had something, but I think we all needed it as well. We all needed that kind of like, right, you get in a room, realise that you're all creative, and kind of cut the bullshit in a way, to break down that kind of masculine wall, yourself.
Just, I think for that particular piece, it was just
for Untitled,
what I was saying, and just kind of, just how I was going at the words. I think if poem was the only way to get it across, and I don't even like kind of calling it a spoken word, because I'm just basically ranting for like 2 minutes. So I don't know, and it kind of rhymes in some ways, but I think for that, like, the message wouldn't have resonated that well if it was
a song with a beat, like
I think it's what I was saying, I would have just got lost with the beat or whatever. So I think just the spoken word, like, way of doing it is just a way of, it's more conversational, but it's a way of like getting directly to the listener. So the listener, it's like you're actually speaking to them. So I think
because you're more on display in spoken word, I feel, because there is no beat to hide behind. There's no backing vocals or anything like that. So it's literally just you and your thoughts and the listener. So that was an artistic choice then. Did you kind of play with that idea to be like, will I add a beat or not? Or did you know from the get-go this had to be just me talking?
I think like just the way it happened, I just knew it had to be me talking. But we were thinking of what kind of, will we put music on it? What type of music will we put under it? Will it be like a piano or will it be a beat? But no, we just settled. So it was definitely a choice just to have like some loud music at the back, just to keep it structured, and then. But for you mostly to hear what I'm saying.
What you're saying, man,
I don't know. I think everyone that listens to it is going to get something different from it. So I wouldn't like to explain it too much, but...
What's it mean to you then?
Yeah, for me, like, it's just... how would I even put it? It's... yeah, as I said, like it's 18 years of like about 18, probably 19 years of thoughts and kind of fears and insecurities that I have, that I thought when I put it out that it was just me, so it was really selfish for me to put it out there.
Yeah.
And I was kind of, you know, coming at it from a selfish aspect. I just wanted to put it out there for people to hear.
Yeah.
One thing that I realised after putting it out was that it's more kind of universal, and you know, people from all walks of life kind of have the same, you know, have the same thoughts and
fears and yeah,
so
we're all human. Yeah.
It's really mostly about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Rap for me. I don't even know why I like got into rap. Obviously, it was like I heard an Eminem song one day and I was like, "Oh, that sounds deadly." But then the more I got into it, it was just, I think it was the stories of people that you weren't like. Obviously, because you're watching TV all the time growing up, so you're seeing the kind of typical way life should be in the films and stuff like that. And then when you're listening to rap songs and just the experiences, because rap obviously comes from kind of working class areas and kind of areas similar to ourselves. So when you're seeing guys from other countries talk about similar experiences and troubles that you're going through, it just hit a point. It resonated with me, and then just the art form and actually like how quick some of these lads can rap and the amount of words that they rhyme and just the whole mechanics of it kind of just enticed me.
Fun.
Yeah, just the fun of it, like actually, you know Costello, obviously, like he does maths, like in a way, you know what I mean, like he kind of breaks down his raps in maths where he's like, I have so many punchlines and so many rhymes equal so many class verses, do you know what I mean? So like obviously there's different ways of writing, but I've seen him do kind of different techniques, and one of them involved maths, do you know what I mean, which is just mad. So just the way you can bring in so many different ways of structuring a song, like as you said, like even spoken word, just stripping the music back and rapping, do you know what I mean, that sort of thing, like an artistic choice like that. So that's just
spoken word to beats as well, like, if you want to.
Yeah, it's class, like yeah, there's so many different avenues to explore. Like spoken word and rap are kind of running parallel to each other in my book, you know. So in terms of like mental health and mental well-being and stuff like that, like I don't know about you, but I find that some of the hardest times that I've gone through where I feel I'm kind of low or I'm not at my best is when I'm not being creative, you know, I'm not releasing it. A prime example would be like up until the birth of my son, I was like with Linko just rapping every day, just constantly being creative, and then when he was born there was obviously a period where I kind of had to transition into family and getting all that sorted, and then creativity took a back seat, you know. Yeah, and you've a baba yourself. Yeah. My experience of it was, so I kind of dropped creativity in a hole for a bit, but then I found myself kind of getting a little bit depressed, for lack of a better word, and then feeling guilty about being depressed, because I was like, why are you depressed when you have a son and a young family? You should be happy. But there was still that void for me that I needed, like my son and everything is great and that's all perfect, but I still need that outlet to just be creative. It's just something that runs through me, and when I'm not doing it, I do feel that drop in kind of positivity in myself, you know what I mean? So I don't know if you had experience kind of becoming a dad in the last few years.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of there at the moment, but I don't know, I just kind of keep going.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just involved in so many things at the moment, but obviously, like, baby's the priority. But I still think that, like, this is what I want to be my career at the moment, so we need to work at that as well.
Yeah.
And plus, I'd rather my son see me actually doing things that I love every day, like being in a job that I don't like. But I think like I was looking at this question, but like in terms of, does creativity help you with, you know, frustrating days or whatever?
Yeah.
I think the frustrating days and the tough times, I think that's necessary for the
flow to
need the tough times and the bad days to
need to experience life.
To get, you know, for art as well. I think it's for the art. I mean, if it was all good and positive and happy all the time.
We'd have nothing to give out about.
What good like songs would I be? The best songs are like from pain. And
Yeah.
I think I get like I don't know. There's like when I'm going through tough times or whatever, I don't know, just like beauty in the suffering.
Yeah, when you're going through something difficult, there's kind of a little voice saying you will be able to use this for something creative or something positive down the line. Yeah.
So
and then
it's just knowing that and it's knowing that like tough times obviously don't last. Like it's all, for me, it's like it's just a wave. It's
up and down.
If it's staying at one point for too long, then
need to change
that's
it up.
a problem. Yeah, it has to be. That's what life is. Just.
And then
wave,
you talked about our sons there. What when your son is 18 or 20 or whatever, and he looks at your body of work, what do you want him to kind of get from it? Like, what was me dad saying? What was his message?
Yeah.
It's a heavy one, man. I know. Yeah.
I just want to I don't know. I just want to make. I suppose it's just a selfish thing, but like I just want to express everything that I can express and get as vulnerable and kind of get as real as I can about kind of what's going on in my life and what I've been through and what I've gone towards. I think just the more I can hone in on that, the better it's gonna be. Like
yeah, it'd be similar. Like I kind of want them to, like if he's on Spotify when he's 30 or something, and there's just a list of songs that you can kind of play them, and it's kind of like nearly a capsule of my life, but then kind of like the zeitgeist, what's happening in society at the minute as well, nearly kind of so we can plot nearly through history what was happening and stuff like that. And then just in terms of a message, it'd be kind of just be yourself, you know what I mean, explore your creative side, and don't be afraid to speak your mind. That's kind of the overall message that I'd like to put to him. But then just for other kind of youngsters that are involved or are looking to get involved in creativity or whatever, how would you advise them to get involved? You were saying you're involved in a lot at the minute, so for someone that is in their bedroom maybe writing or rapping, like what's their next step out of the bedroom? Because that can be quite a daunting step.
Yeah, it is, definitely. And it's I don't know, I think some people just think that when they're doing anything creative that it's like individual, it's theirs, but you know, you have to collaborate with
share it. You
have to share to get it out there, and obviously it is scary. I know for myself it's scary, but I think you just have to embrace it. Like you just have to embrace it. So I suppose what I'd say is that the creative part is kind of the easy part, and then it's just there's 100 journeys after that you need to go down. So I'd say just don't be afraid to just
put yourself out there, like
put yourself out there, show it to people, find out kind of what you need
to improve it, and
written something or whatever, find out what you need to get it from A to Z, and then just figure out. Be like, another thing I'd say is just kind of be selective. Like find out, like you want to work with people, but you want to make sure that they're the right people. You want to make sure that the people that you're working with like understand what you're doing. So I'd say collaborate, but be selective about who you collaborate. Do your
research. Definitely. I'd be similar myself. I'd be kind of, the 2 points of advice is to, anytime you have a chance to be in the room with creative people. So like if you're a musician, go to gigs. Do you know what I mean? Listen to the music, talk to the people in the crowd. If you're an actor or someone involved in film, you know, try and be an extra, you know, on a set or talk, or just try and be in the room with creative people, because creativity breeds more creativity, I find. And then
the industry type of thing.
Exactly, just being in a room, and you'd be surprised, like if you're feeling down and you just go to a even if it's a small gig with 10 people there, just that positive vibe in the room of people sharing creativity and being there for each other can pick you up. And then the second bit would be criticism. Don't be afraid to take it, because I know kind of in the past for me, someone was saying, you know, the mix on that song is not great, or maybe you could rewrite it this way, and I was kind of like, no, it's grand the way it is. But don't be afraid to take on advice and criticism, because if you're, as you were saying, if you're around the right people that you're working with, their criticism is only to benefit and to bolster it.
Yeah, that's it.